I just made a phone holder in my car. Okay. Hey everybody, this is Malia Araya, and I'm coming at you live on the set of In My Car in a parking lot, random place in LA. Being a creepy weirdo, and hopefully nobody comes over here. I don't think anybody's gonna come over here. I'm not doing anything illegal. Okay, I'm going far off the point. Well, I wanted to come on here to talk about some woo-woo experiences, because I don't know if y'all know, but I'm very into like ghost hunting, kind of like the woo-woo side of life, paranormal, spirituality, other worldly experiences, spiritual experiences. I haven't experienced, sorry, I'm gonna get some water a few times while I'm here because it's hot. But I've been wanting to share some experiences for a while. I just didn't really know how to start this series off. But I guess I don't really have a series. It's more like me just coming on here and talking about whatever the hell. Anyways, so I want to share an experience. Where do I want to start? I guess I'll just share to you my experiences shortly with the paranormal, and then I'll get to the most recent one I had, and then some that I've actually been documenting through the years. Not like video documenting, just writing it down, writing people's experiences down. They give me permission, they let me. So I guess I'll start out sharing my experiences of the paranormal and all the otherworldly things that I've experienced before. I'm not going to go into all of them because it's a lot. So it started out, I've noticed that when I was young, there were instances. I'm also going to share my spiritual, like my abilities, because I am psychic and I am intuitive, and I am able to channel and do like oracle readings and read people's energy. I know when people are lying, when they're bullshitting. I know their intentions. I know things I shouldn't know. So I want to share that briefly, and how I discovered that, and how I work with it, and what it's really like to live that way, because a lot of people don't know. A lot of people are very intuitive and have no idea and have these abilities and think that they're crazy, but you're not crazy. I feel like I'm always meeting people who are coming to me with these things, these experiences, and I have to be the one to be like, you're not crazy, you're just fucking psychic. Like, yeah, so if you think you're having any of what I'm about to explain to you, you're not crazy. You're psychic. You have intuitive abilities. You pick up on shit that people don't tell you. And every single one of us have these abilities. We just shut them off. We're all at different phases of our journeys as humans in this life. So what matters to me is not going to matter to you, may not matter to you, may not resonate, and that's fine. That's cool. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with you not liking me and you not enjoying what I'm talking about and disagreeing with me. I'm really cool with that. So yeah, so I guess I'll start when I was young. I guess my first experience where I realized that that I had some kind of abilities was, I was really young. We were all sitting in the van in my mom's car, and a song came on the radio, and I had never heard that song in my entire life. It was an old song. I never heard that song in my life. It was me, my brother, and my cousins, and my mom was driving, and I think my aunt was in the car. And the song comes on, and we're like, oh. And I'm in the backseat. I'm like, oh, this is a good one. And then I just start singing along. I sing the lyrics of the song that I never heard of in my life. Here comes somebody. They're gonna tell me to go. I'm like, where am I gonna go? I'm not gonna go anywhere but to another parking lot to finish this. So that was the first experience I had where I knew something before for no explanation at all. I knew something and I should never have known those lyrics. Okay. Then as I got older, I just was one of those kids that kind of knew what she wanted. Like, I really observed everybody around me. I observed, and I was doing this and I didn't even know I was. Like, I knew that I wanted to go. We drove by this high school when I was about 8 or 9, and it was a really nice high school. And I told myself at 8 or 9 years old, I said, that's the high school that I'm going to go to. I had no idea that that would actually come to pass. And I knew that if I went to that high school, I would have better opportunities at 11 years old, 11, 12 years old. And I did. I went to that high school and I ended up getting a full ride as a basketball player. And then got my education, got to go play basketball all over the country, and did well with that. Okay. So nothing really crazy started happening actually until, well, okay, my first paranormal experience was when I was 15. Forgive me, this is kind of all over the place because I've never done this before, and I do want to start talking about these things openly on my podcast, because this is kind of part of my life that I'm incorporating now, and going into ghost hunting and things like that. I really love this stuff. I don't know. Okay, so when I was 16 years old, so our family moved into this house when I was about 9 years old, and it happened to be haunted. So I didn't know anything about it until like I got a little older, but apparently there was something haunting my brothers, and they shared a room. I had my own room, and then my mom had a room, my parents had a room. So apparently they were getting haunted, like they were getting woken up at night, hearing weird ass noises, all these things. I vaguely remember, wasn't that afraid, didn't really care because I was young. I was just like, give me some gel pens and let me draw. And then as I got older, about 16 years old, I started getting woken up around 3 to 3:15 a.m. Every single night. And what would happen was I would be in my bed was right here. The door was right here, and I wasn't allowed to sleep with my door closed. That was my mom's rule. So I slept with the door open, pitch black, wake up at 3 a.m. just like this, open my eyes and freak the fuck out. I was so scared. I would get so scared because I was terrified. I would just be ice, like stunned. I was looking at the doorway, and all I see is a thing with a black hood, like in a black cloak, just standing there at my doorway watching me. And this went on for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks. It went on and off. It wasn't every single night. It was just on and off for maybe a year. And that during that time, I actually had a feeling that it couldn't come into my room for some reason. At 16 years old, I just had a sense that it wasn't able to come into my room because it always was just standing at the doorway. Even though I was freaked out, I knew that if I turned the light on, it would disappear from my sight. The light switch was next to the door, and I would run over there with my eyes closed and turn it on, and then it would disappear. That's when I started to sleep with the TV on. My mom got me a TV, so I would watch Lilo and Stitch and leave it playing all night. It helped me to sleep, kind of. It helped me get through the night. But so yeah, so that went on. I don't think I ever told my mom that was happening because I didn't really understand it. I didn't tell anybody what was going on because I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know, and I was terrified. So one night in that house, I actually had a dream. I went to bed and I had a dream, and in the dream, I woke up in the dream, and I was in my room. My room was pink at the time because pink is my favorite color, if nobody ever knew. in the dream, I got up. My room was bright, sunny, and like really feeling happy. I had this nightstand. I went to the nightstand. I went like this, and I moved the nightstand. And when I did that, an angel appeared, and I thought that it was Jesus because I grew up Catholic and I went to catechism and everything. I don't know if I got baptized. I can't remember. I just saw a white cloak and I saw the purple sash. I didn't see a face, but I saw like the angel, the body coming out of that area and just illuminating a lot of light. And the feeling that I felt was calm, peace, like the most beautiful peace and calmness you could ever feel. And just straight up, like if I could go back to that place, I would, because it's not earth. It's not of earth. It's a beauty. It's like a heavenly feeling. That's how I would explain it. So I woke up from that dream and I actually did like a little kid thing. I was so confused. I was like, what? I don't know what that was. I don't know if I'm supposed to be scared or not. So I got up and I went and actually slept in my mom's room. But ever since that dream, it disappeared. I never saw that thing again. So I don't know what that was. But it haunted my room, and then it started haunting my mom's room. And excuse me. Edit that out. Okay. So I went to my mom's room and at 11:50. Okay. The way that it was haunting her was quite odd because, well, she has this huge fear of spiders. So she said that she would get woken up in the middle of the night and see something dangling over her, look like a spider. So she would get up and jump out of bed and run down the hall and scream. And I told her, I said, that's really weird because I'm a light sleeper. I would have woken up and heard that, especially since our rooms were like my room, her room, right next to each other. And I slept with the door open. And I didn't hear nothing. I never woke up. And that happened to her numerous times. Apparently it got to the point where she just lost her shit and just screamed at it and was like, you need to get out of this house, leave, you don't belong here, we don't want you, blah blah blah, because it was fucking with her when she was trying to clean. And my mom's a tough ass bitch. Like, if I were a ghost, I wouldn't want to haunt the house she was living in because she scared it away. Anyways, we ended up losing that house, and so that was my first real experience with the paranormal that I can remember. And then the next experiences didn't happen until I was in college. When I got into Christianity, when I was facing depression, I can't explain it. I never followed my intuition then. I didn't really start doing that until about 2015 is when I really started to listen to myself. I'm not a Christian. I do believe in many things, so I do believe in many things. I don't believe that Christianity is my full truth of what I believe in, but there are lots of truths in there that I resonate with. Anyways, excuse me. The next things that I experienced was when I was about 20 or 21. That's when shit just started kicking off for me. Like, it was like I just woke up. I think it was 2012. I just started getting all these strange, I've always had weird dreams, but then this time my dreams were like dream within a dream in the future, wake up, oh nope, just kidding, you're in another dream and you're in the past and you're wearing Victorian stuff. The dream that I was in the future, everything was super blue, everything was super high tech, like we were going through the drive-thru and the menu was so weird. The food was different. And then I was like waking myself up in those dreams because I had to tell my roommate something horribly. I was like, I gotta give her this message. So I woke myself up and then ended up in the past, and I was wearing Victorian dresses. Victorian dress, and I was like, what the actual fuck? And I just saw these different like beautiful furnitures, and then I woke myself up again, and I woke up for real that time. I got up from my room, I walked out the hallway, and as I was walking to the door to tell Marina was my roommate at the time, Marina had just pulled up literally with her car in the driveway, parked it, started walking up to the door. And that's when I started really paying attention to shit, because the moment she walked in the door, I was like, Marina, I was waking up from a dream to tell you something, but I have no message. There was no fucking message. I don't know what the fuck that was. So if anybody wants to explain that to me, please feel free. The next things that happened were just a lot of unexplainable shit. Of knowing things I shouldn't have known just by looking at people. And this is me discovering that I have these intuitive and psychic abilities. I didn't know I had them then. Fast forward until, look, I'm not even going to get into a whole realm of other things that I could talk about, because I think this will be enough to grasp. The next things I remember was like 2013. I just felt this nudge to go to New York. So I did, and I sold my car and I went. And that's when I started like attracting all these different spiritual people to me. They would literally stop me and give me, like, tell me things, and then I would never see them again. And then there was this one girl, rest in peace, but she actually was the person to give me information that completely changed my perspective on what spirituality is. But since then, I started getting premonitions and dreams. In 2015 or 2016, early 2016, like January, I was getting these dreams. I had numerous dreams about either my Nana passing away or my poppy, grandma and grandpa passing away, and something told me inside to go back to the Bay Area. I was also healing from other things at the time, so I felt like it was the best choice to just start over. But when I got back to the Bay Area, my dear Nana passed away within 6 months of having that dream. So then that was another wake-up call. Now, at the time, I still wasn't really believing it, that, oh my God, actually, maybe these are something to think about. That didn't happen until like 2017. A whole course of events happened to wake me up to my own path and my own self. So I really like the term woke, because it's so general. Your spiritual path and your path of enlightenment is your own. It is not to be compared to no guru, to no Gandhi, no Buddha, no Saint Mary, Teresa, I don't know. Any of those people don't matter. What matters is you and your path and your journey in this life, and uncovering your truth and going and living in a way that makes sense to your soul, and honoring your path and what you're here to do or to be. So since then, I just developed this like huge I guess fascination to paranormal experiences and hearing people's experiences with supernatural things and then their abilities. And not only that, but I also noticed that I attract those people all the time, and I attract people who are not awakened to their own abilities. So I'm a believer that everybody I meet is not a coincidence. We all are helping each other in our life, in each other's lives, whether we want to think that or not, whether it's in a good way or in a bad way, in a harsh way, in a nice way. We're all acting to help each other's soul growth. What else was I gonna say? So I've discovered since then that my psychic abilities range from You know, all the clairs, like clairsentient, claircognizant, clairvoyant. There's a whole bunch more. There's a lot. Like clear hearing, clear taste. Clear hearing is interesting because that could either be clairaudience. So that could either be you actually hear the other side, like you can talk to spirits and hear them, or you get messages through music, things like that. Messages are from the divinest spiritual realms, other spirits, ghosts, beings, ancestors. I won't go into all that right now. But basically, I can look at somebody. How it works is, for me, is I can look at somebody, and as they're talking, I'll just get random ass sentences in my head, like, oh, she likes to wear blue on Saturdays. Okay. So then that's how that works. And I don't like having that all the time because I'll get sentences in my head from people. I'll get things that I don't want to know, essentially. And sometimes I'll get messages for people, and at first I didn't realize how to deliver those messages, and I would just sound like a total creeper. Like one time I was working in an office, and I was guided to talk to this woman that worked there. So I just started talking to her, and my guides were just like, mention dancing. I was like, okay. And then I asked her if she was a dancer. I was like, so are you a dancer? And she was like, no, not anymore, but I was a dancer. And she's like, why do you ask? And then I got stumped. Like I had no idea. I was like, I don't fucking know how this works. And it ended up me leaving that conversation feeling like a creeper. Like, and that's not how I wanted to be perceived. But the point that I'm trying to make is, like, I'll be guided to talk to somebody and mention something. I don't know what it is for, but they might know what it is for. Their higher self might be wanting someone to mention dancing because it brings them back to good memories, and maybe I was supposed to mention it because she wanted to start dancing again and needed a confirmation. Something like that happens, and I only get those guidances. I only am guided to talk to people who spirit wants me to talk to. Now, yes, I have been able to look at somebody and read negative things about them, things that I don't want to, again, I don't want to know, but I do get the information on purpose for my protection, and then for other people, for me to be like, you should stay away from that person. They don't have good intentions. So, and then there's the times where I will literally get spirits coming in telling me things to pass on to people. But I honestly haven't been reading for people as much since I moved to LA because we're in a coronavirus. And all the days are blurry, and this video is getting way too long, so let me just cut it now. I hope that this gave you some insight to who I am. I don't know. I don't think many people watch my YouTube channel anyways. I actually don't even know if I'll post this, but I wanted to come on here and just share that because this is a part of me. And I don't plan on hiding behind a closet of let me hide my secrets anymore. I don't like that. A part of me being a writer and a body positive and a body and spirit positive activist is to share and be transparent about what I believe contributes to a healthy body outlook. And that's and I use the word body because it's easy to see, but I'm not just talking about the body, I'm talking about the whole spiritual body. Because we are spiritual. We're spiritual beings in a body. And I know everybody believes in what they want to believe, but I believe this wholly. That if you work on your spirit, which is inside your spirit, which can radiate energy far, could help everybody. You help the world around you when you have a healthy body image, when you have a healthy spirit image of who you are and where you're going. So that's a huge part of me. This is a huge part of what I'm trying to do for the future. And, I don't have the building blocks right away, but it's starting. It started. That's who I am. It's what I've been through with the eating disorders and the depression and the self-hatred and the self-sabotage and the PMDD and the ADHD. Everything is the foundation to what I'm building. And I think that says a lot for a lot of people who are trying to help give back positivity and contribute to a healthier society and whatever they're doing. Everything, the darkness is important. That's something I always go for. The darkness is as important as the light. Your painful experiences, I would argue, matter a lot more than your happy experience, only because they allow you to really have gratitude for the happier experiences. If you didn't have painful experiences, you wouldn't know how strong you are, and you wouldn't know what a happy experience is. Guy just told me to leave. What? Everybody else is fired, and they got one security guard monitoring a whole empty ass parking lot. For why? Can I have a job here? I need a job. I mean, it don't make no sense. There literally is nobody in this parking lot. Fucking. Don't even get me started on the fact that people can own land and kick people off of it because of time.